The Indonesian government is planning to provide financial incentives to those purchasing electric vehicles, essentially subsidizing the cost of electric cars, hybrids, and also electric motorcycles.
Although the exact amount of the incentives are yet to be announced, last Friday, Indonesian Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani reassured that the EV incentive plans are in the final stages of discussion. She says the financial incentives for EV purchases is a part of the 2019 number 55 presidential regulation on the acceleration program for battery-based motor vehicles. Previously, last year, Indonesia's Minister of Industry, Agus Gumiwang Kartasasmita, says the government is planning to subsidize electric car purchases by 80 million rupiah, which essentially would mean that the price of electric cars will be cut by 80 million, as that amount will be paid for by the government. However, that amount has not been confirmed yet. Minister Mulyani says the Finance Ministry still needs to coordinate further with the House of Representatives and other stakeholders.
Finalisasi sedang dilakukan. Jadi dalam hal ini seperti yang saya sampaikan juga di beberapa kesempatan, kalau ada insentif yang baru yang terutama menggunakan APBN, kami harus juga berkonsultasi dengan DPR karena DPR memiliki hak budget juga. Jadi dalam hal ini untuk finalisasi antar pemerintah sudah sampai pada titik yang hampir final, sudah didesain angkanya nanti berapa dan kemudian siapa yang akan menjadi kuasa pengguna anggaran, karena itu kan ada alokasi untuk tadi yang disebut subsidinya. Dan tentu kami sebagai pengelola keuangan negara harus memberitahukan kepada DPR bahwa akan ada pos baru ini.
Buying an electric vehicle remains challenging for many consumers as high prices and limited access to charging stations can make it a difficult decision, especially in emerging markets like Indonesia.
VOA's Hadian Utama has the full report.
Lutfi, who like many Indonesians only goes by one name, is test driving a Wuling Air EV, a Chinese-made electric car.
This is my first time driving an electric car. It's unique. It looks small, but it's not inside, just like a normal car. The driving feel is also good. It's quiet, especially the acceleration. It's very instant.
Wuling Motors, based in southern China, launched its flagship vehicle in Indonesia in August 2022. With a price range of $16,000 to $20,000, it's currently the cheapest EV sold in Indonesia. With a price point Lutfi says works for him.
My first consideration is definitely the price, then the number of charging stations, and the battery warranty.
Gasoline-powered cars still dominate the streets of Jakarta and other major Indonesian cities, but that is changing.
We are optimistic that the electric car market in Indonesia will grow because by looking at what is currently available, when we launched the Air EV, the response was extraordinary. We have currently sold more than 3,000 units, and the waiting list to buy is 1 to 2 months long.
According to the Indonesian Automotive Industry Association, GAIKINDO, sales of battery-based electric cars in Indonesia topped 7,900 units from January to November 2022. That was almost 8 times 2021's total. Wuling Air EVs made up about 5,900 of last year's sales. Wuling Motors partly credits government efforts to incentivize EVs, including its push to produce locally sourced car batteries.
We can see that government policies are good enough to accelerate vehicle electrification, and the public is responding positively to electric cars.
The second best-selling EV is South Korean manufacturer Hyundai's IONIQ 5, which sold more than 1,700 units in the past year. The IONIQ 5 and the Wuling Air EV were the official vehicles of the G20 summit in Bali last November to showcase the Joko Widodo's administration's push for EVs.
There are 3 things we have to think about. First, how to make a battery that is cheap but has a high cruising range. The second is an efficient motor. And the third is to increase the number of charging stations.
The government is hoping the private sector can help expand charging stations, which currently number fewer than 400 across the country. From Jakarta, Indonesia, Ahadian Utama